Hi, my name is Christine Anderson. I am from Anderson's Maple Syrup in Cumberland. I have a lot of information that I'd like to share with you about selling bulk pure maple syrup to a packer. Most packers require two basic things. One, quality pure maple syrup, and two, that all legal practices are followed. We're going to talk about these today. Maple syrup producers in Wisconsin make high-quality pure maple syrup. We are proud of our work and we treat our syrup carefully to maintain the best taste, clarity, and color that we can. Packers who purchase pure maple syrup are constantly asked to prove that this food is of the highest quality and it is safe. Because of that, packers are going to ask any producer to vouch for the quality of their syrup. Anderson's has created a questionnaire to complete every year. It's simple and it's on our website. Here is where you can find Anderson's maple syrup supplier approval form. It's under the information tab on the Anderson's website. All you need to do is click on one of those three areas and the form will come up and you can print it, complete it, and mail it in, or you can fill it out online. I'd like to point out that on Anderson's website you can also find state approval forms and links, and you can also find FDA approval forms and links by clicking on these words. Of the 5 or 6 pages on the Anderson's paperwork, this page is one of the most confusing for people, so I chose to show it today. It's also quite important because as of October 1st, 2020, producers are required to be lead-free in order to sell to any packer. And this page in our paperwork is a way to document our efforts toward eliminating potential lead sources. The items in this box identify the areas that we're targeting to reduce and eliminate possible lead contamination. Every box in these sections should be checked at this point, meaning that lead is not present in them. For example, if you do not have buckets and pails because you use tubing, you should check that box because you have eliminated any possibility that there could be lead there by not having them. If you decide that you'd like to sell your syrup to Anderson's, we would be happy to take it. So once your form is complete, please send it to me at the listed email or address. And after that's done, then you can email or call Steve to set up an appointment at that email or address. It is good to call ahead so that we can be prepared. If you have any questions while you're filling out the supplier approval forms, please call me at that listed number. Any packer that purchases bulk maple syrup will want to make sure that legal processes have been followed by the producer. Anderson's paperwork does include questions about a Wisconsin license or registration, as well as the federal requirements of the FDA food facility registration. The following state and federal requirements in this presentation are meant to be completed before the syrup season begins. Wisconsin license. A Wisconsin food processing plant license is needed if you sell more than $5,000 per year. That means the total amount of syrup sold to packers and or retailers in 1 year. If you sell to a reseller, for example, a store that resells your syrup, a license is also required no matter what your annual sales are. If you sell less than $5,000 total to anyone during that previous year, a Wisconsin registration is required. A maple sap processor registration can be found on the DATCAP website on the right-hand side of the page by clicking these blue words that say maple sap processor. This form will show up here. You can print it off, complete it. This is a free registration with the state of Wisconsin. It needs to be mailed to this address. I recommend keeping a copy for yourself, as Wisconsin will not contact you to let you know that they received your application. This registration does need to be completed each year, and you can always call to make sure that they received it. So if you discover you need a license, what kind of license is required? According to DATCAP, most producers will need a food processing plant license. You have decided you need a license. Now what? The first thing DATCAP recommends is contacting them. The address and phone number are listed on this website here. The next thing you probably need to do is familiarize yourself with what is required for a license. And the next thing is a sanitarian will be assigned to you for an inspection, and a license fee will be required. So let's talk a little bit about what facilities and equipment are required for a license. When you click on this button, you will see a link for a PDF called Rules for Maple Syrup Processors Handbook. The Rules for Maple Syrup Processors is a document created by DATCAP to try to explain the food safety laws in Wisconsin. These laws are in place to ensure that food that is consumed by anyone is safe and wholesome for them. So the requirements are broken down specifically for maple syrup producers. This document has a lot of details, and I do not have time to go into them right now, so I encourage you to really look at that document. It also has information on variances if your facility does not have running water, so that you can work with your sanitarian to still be able to meet the requirements of the law and get your license. So how much does a license cost? The fee is based on your annual production, and a schedule that is up to date, as well as an application that is up to date, will be sent to you once you contact DATCAP about needing a license. We have talked about the Wisconsin license and registration process. Now let's look at the FDA. The federal requirement for registration has been in place since 2003. This registration is free, but it does allow the FDA to inspect your facility. The great thing about Wisconsin is that the Wisconsin Food Processing Plant License Inspection is often done in connection with the FDA inspection. The requirements are very similar, as Wisconsin has patterned their law after the national laws. All of this is to ensure that the food given to people is safe for consumption. That is the whole reason for any of this registration and licensing. The FDA registration is a two-point process. First step, you need to set up an account. Second, you need to submit a registration. So we go to the website listed here, and if you have never registered before, you need to click on Create an Account. If you have registered in the past, you need to log in. It will take you to this page. If you are renewing your registration, you need to log in with your account number and your password. Click I understand and log in. If this is your first time registration, you need to scroll down to New User and click Create a New Account. Then you'll go to this page and you should choose Food Facility Registration, then scroll all the way down to the bottom and click Continue. There will be a page asking for address and password security questions. After you've completed all of that and double checked that it's correct, select Submit at the bottom of the page, and then you will be brought to the next page giving you your account ID. You have completed step 1. You have an account. Please write down your account ID and your password for future use. Now you have an account. Now you have to log into your account in order to register. One way to do this is to click the Login button. We're going to register as a food facility. So we click Food Facility Registration. Now we're on this page. First-time users will need to register a food facility. If you are renewing your facility registration and you did not do that before December 31st, 2020, you will also need to register a food facility. You will not be updating because they have canceled your registration if you did not do that before the deadline. So you will register a food facility. You'll have to redo that again. We fill out all the information required, and when you get to section 2, continue filling out all the information. This section is where there is something new. FDA is requiring a unique facility identifier. The UFI is also a DUNS number. If you have a DUNS number, just type it in without any dashes. If you do not have a DUNS number, you need to choose this box, UFI temporarily unavailable. That means you will be able to complete your food facility registration, and then you have 90 calendar days to get a DUNS number. And I'll tell you how to get a DUNS number in a little bit. Continue completing the food facility registration. Follow the directions on each page. Always go down to the very bottom and choose continue to get to the next page. When you get to section 9A, there is no general product category for pure maple syrup. So you'll need to scroll all the way down to number 37, none apply. In the box, write pure maple syrup or maple syrup, and then add any other activity conducted. Scroll down all the way to the page, filling in all the other boxes, and select continue. On section 11, asks for permission to inspect your facility. It is recommended that you allow that. Section 12 is about who filled out this form. Most people will choose A because you're filling it out for yourself. Then you will get a message that says registration successful and your assigned registration number and PIN number. You will also have an explanation of expiration date. I recommend you print this page and then write your account ID and your password on it so that you have all of your records in one place. This registration number is what a packer may require in order to verify that you are up to date with your FDA registration. Please remember, do not share your PIN with anyone outside of your company. Now, we still need to get a DUNS number. We've registered, but we have 90 days to get our DUNS number. So we go to this website, and in the middle of the page, there's a drop-down menu. You need to choose, I have a US-based business from the drop-down menu. Complete the information that it requests. It's your address, your phone number, your email. Click search. If your business has a DUNS number associated with it, it will come up. Verify that it's yours, and then you can use that DUNS number back in the FDA registration form. If you do not have a DUNS number, you will be prompted to request a DUNS number. It will take about 6 weeks to 2 months for you to get that DUNS number, so be patient, but keep an eye on your email. The DUNS number will come through your email. Once you receive your DUNS number, then it is your responsibility to go back to the FDA Food Facility Registration and enter it. So we go back to our original place, we log in, password, then you're going to choose update a facility registration this time. You're not registering again, you're updating the registration you already did. When you get to section 2, enter your DUNS number without any dashes, just the straight number, and then uncheck the UFI temporarily unavailable. Then double check all the information is correct and click submit. Once you have submitted your form again, you will see something similar to this, only it will say you have successfully updated your registration. Congratulations. Now, if you have any questions, the helpline is available. I do want to remind you that DUNS is not part of FDA, so you will have to submit the DUNS number separately on your own to the FDA. It is not going to do that for you. It is not automatic. So we've talked about the two things. We need quality pure maple syrup, obviously, and we need to follow the legal practices. Thank you for your dedication to producing the best pure maple syrup possible. Anderson's is always looking to buy quality pure maple syrup. We would be honored to work with any of you as part of the Anderson's team promoting Wisconsin pure maple syrup across the country. You can find any of these slides and links at Anderson's website. This whole slideshow will be listed under the Information tab.